Hey, world-lit people, this is my second attempt. My first video was rejected because it was too long. Imagine me being long-winded. So I'm going to give you the quick preview of these words. These are all words that have the Latin root S-E-Q-U or a various spelling of that. They all mean to follow in some way. All right. I think these should be easier, not so closely related, even though a couple of them kind of are. And that is, that pertains to consecutive, which is an adjective, I-V-E ending, always adjective. And what's the other one I saw? That is, sequacious. All right. That is also an adjective. That means kind of following in logical order, as you can see. So what's the difference between consecutive and the sequacious? Well, consecutive is a correct order, all right, where it's been established, like our months in a calendar year. Those have been established. September always follows August. We can't switch it around and try it alphabetically. That won't work, all right? Now, sequacious is a logical following, all right? The example they give you is with a periodic table based on weight. That's how they are positioned, all right? It's based on their weight, not alphabetically or anything like that, all right? So subtle difference, but let's see, some other ensue and subsequent. Now, they look like they kind of mean the same thing, but what ensue is a verb. Subsequent is an adjective. All right, that ENT makes it an adjective. All right, so let me give you an example with ensue. It means to happen afterwards. One thing causes something else to happen. So after the earthquake in Napa Valley, many shock waves ensued. All right. They came after. That's the verb. All right. Ensued is a verb. Okay. If there's a blackout in the city, looting will ensue. All right. It will come after. All right. And it's a verb. Ensue is a verb. Now, subsequent, we would put that in front of like shock waves. After the earthquake in Napa Valley, there were subsequent shock waves. Okay. They came after the earthquake, and they were kind of a logical thing that came after the earthquake. You would expect it. Okay. Consequence. Consequence. It's a noun, and you're familiar with the word consequence. It's you know, an effect or something that happens after, you know, there's a rule breaking or there's a special event. The consequence of not doing your homework, well, you probably get a lower grade. Okay? The consequence of doing your homework, oh, you probably have better understanding. Okay? So they could be positive or negative. And I really think that there are immediate consequences and then there are long-range consequences. Okay? Anyway, they're kind of a natural outcome, however. That ensue, execute, we're not necessarily talking about what happens, you know, we're not talking capital punishment, but the verb execute means any act of following through on something. We're going to execute this video, even if I have to do it 5 times because their first 4 are too long. Inconsequential. You see consequence in there, which is an outcome. In is the opposite, okay? And the IAL makes it an adjective, all right? If something is consequential, it means it is significant. It's an outcome that is of some significance. If it's inconsequential, it has no significance. Okay, that in makes it the opposite. Obsequious, I love this word. It's an adjective. Obsequious, if you think about the little, any lackeys in any Disney movie, like, oh, I forget his name in Beauty and the Beast. He's LeFou. Yeah, it's LeFou in Beauty and the Beast. He's always, remember that song he sings about Gaston, how Gaston is the best at everything. He is obsequious. He is just trying to please Gaston. He doesn't really expect any, like his station's going to get any better. It's not going to improve. He just wants to, he's a lackey. He just wants to try to please Gaston. Okay. Persecute. Persecute is a verb. Jesus was persecuted, okay, harassed, beaten, that sort of thing. All right, constantly. Prosecutor. We have a lot of words that deal with the law. So let me kind of go through. We have prosecutor. That's a person noun. That OR makes it person noun in this case. And the prosecutor is he's the one bringing the charges, okay? And the act of bringing a lawsuit is sue. And we see that down towards the end. It's a verb, okay? So the prosecutor would bring that lawsuit against the defendant. The people whom the prosecutor represents, they are suing, all right? They're bringing this lawsuit, and the prosecutor's going to argue it, okay? Sequester is another word generally associated with the courtroom. If the jury is sequestered, that means they are taken away to do their deliberations, to do their discussions before they come up with a verdict. Outside of the public eye. So they'll be taken to like a hotel, and they can't associate with their families or anything if it's a high-profile case. Okay. All righty. I think those are all of the. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Go back up to pursue. That's a verb. That's going out. That's chasing. The one who normally does the chasing would be the suitor. The suitor pursues. All right. And so the suitor is a person noun. And like the OR ending in prosecutor, OR ending, that's a clue to us. The suitor chases after the gal. Okay. Suitor is the guy who chases after the gal. Okay. Pursuit. Pursuit, that's the noun form. We have pursue, which is the verb. Pursuit is the act of pursuing. Okay. Sect, that is a group, that's a noun. It's a group that adheres to a certain set of beliefs, certain standards, all right? So that's sect, all right? Now, secular is the adjective form. Secular is, it's worldly beliefs and standards. It's an adjective, worldly beliefs and standards, all right? So, like, anything having to do with the world system of belief. It could pertain to music. Secular music would be non-religious themes. All right. Secular movies, non-religious themes. All right. Secular groups would be groups that are not associated with any religion. Okay. Sequacious we talked about. Sequel. Sequel is a book or a movie, something that comes after the first one. Okay, it follows the first one. So, like Catching Fire is a sequel to The Hunger Games. Insurgent is a sequel to Divergent. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets is a sequel to Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Okay, they come in an order, in sequential order. Okay, talked about that. Subsequent, talked about that. Sweet. That second from the bottom of sweet is a noun, and it could refer to like a group of rooms in a hotel. If you have a suite, you have a living room area, you have bedrooms, you have a bathroom. That's a suite. That's a group of rooms. Okay, so if you might get a suite at a hotel, you get a whole group of rooms. Okay, not just one room. Okay, like a hotel room. Okay, I think I hit all of them, and I think I'm under the time, so I might this one might work. Okay, we'll talk to you later. If you have any questions about this, make sure you ask me this week. Bye now.